What was that?
I had to make a sound effect because it doesn't.
You want to do it again?
Beep.
Okay. Hello. Welcome back to my aunt's attic.
Welcome back to my attic. Danielle.
What's up with you?
Oh my god. Life is so good. I'm just kidding, it's horrible and I hate it. And everything that happens is just putting me this much closer to like shaving my head or going skydiving.
Go full Britney mode.
Yeah, I'm going Britney.
Didn't she come up with an explanation of why she shaved her head?
Yeah, it's because they were going to drug test her hair, and obviously it was going to come back that she was using, her kids would be taken away, which they ended up being anyway, but that's why she shaved it, because she had like court the next day or something.
Well, that feels like an admission of guilt.
Well,
I mean, it's not, but that's kind of like a, you know what?
No, it is, but then they couldn't prove.
I gotcha.
Because they need like so much hair.
I got really excited for a second though, because I was about to say, okay, great, elaborate on this wonderful life that you're currently living.
No, just little things keep happening that keep pushing me
a little closer to the edge.
How are you doing?
Same.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, and as we have, I think, discovered from last week, I got rid of my Wi-Fi because I was not willing to pay $85 a month for freaking Wi-Fi. That's insane. And it's not even cable, it's not phone, it's just straight up internet. And I'm like, I have unlimited data on my phone. I don't need to do this. I'm just kidding. What'd you say?
I said it wasn't even that good. But I'm just kidding. I don't know that.
You literally only logged into my Wi-Fi the last day that I had it.
I know.
But no, I finally got rid of it, and I'm feeling the effects of it. I am on, like, dial-up internet because there is no service out here. And the problem is, my conspiracy theory ass is thinking to myself, you know what? I made the mistake of informing the woman at Spectrum what phone provider I use. And I think that rascal got a hold of my phone provider.
Can they do that?
My aunt swears up and down, no, they can't. But you know what? Capitalism. I'm saying they can. Because I'm thinking to myself, I have never had this many problems. I was trying to listen to the basement yard. I was just driving down the roads that I drive every freaking day. Never have a problem. Guess what's lagging? Guess what's skipping?
Well, you know what? I've experienced that before, too, where I'm like, okay, it's time to get a new phone. So I'll look on my phone online for new phones, and then my phone starts absolutely whacking out.
Yeah. I mean, this is capitalism, greedy capitalism at its finest. And it's disgusting. I mean, I don't know. Again, conspiracy, I have no proof. But you know what? This is the kind of shady shit that I would not be surprised if it happens on a regular basis. And as you said, as soon as you start... And the thing is, as soon as I got rid of my Spectrum, Verizon started getting a hold of me and saying, check out this plan, check out this plan. I'm like, I've been on the same plan for however long, and you've never reached out to me because I'm content, and you're content, as long as I'm paying an additional $85 for Wi-Fi.
Something's up.
So I'm telling you, I made the mistake of mentioning what phone provider I use, and she got a hold of them and said, hey, this user just got rid of her Wi-Fi, crash her phone, so she's forced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So either now I have to, like, bump up my phone plan for better data, or however it works. I don't even know how it works. It's electronic.
No, just wait it out.
I'm not going to. No, I mean, I'm not going to do, I'm going to wait it out. I'm not going to do anything. Because at the same time, while I'm very frustrated and very impatient, I'm learning patience. Because I'm back in, like, the dial-up internet days. This is back when I didn't have a cell phone. This is back when we had a shared computer in the main living room area. And where you had the... all that nonsense. I lived through that.
I only know that sound as a sound effect on iMovie.
Oh no, I lived through that.
I've never actually, like, heard it.
Daily basis lived through that. If we wanted to use the shared home computer in the main living area, we had all those noises. We had the layered error message that just, the entire world is going to explode, because it was like 10,000 error messages that you'd get. And so I'm living back in those days. And while it's very frustrating, at the same time it's teaching me patience, and it's getting me back to little bit of a reality check, because it's kind of nice being forced to separate from social media, because nothing loads. I haven't checked Instagram in days because it doesn't load.
Oh my god. Well, now they're gonna hear this episode and then they're gonna give it back to you. So
they better. You know what?
It's crazy though. But seriously,
I don't want it back. I don't want it back.
I've been looking for a new phone on the current phone not this one, but the phone that I had at the time, and it will literally start to crash to the point where it's like almost unusable, and I will like then need a new phone.
Yeah.
Like, I remember trying to order my new phone, and my phone kept crashing, like, in the process.
They force you to. I'm telling you, there are bugs and everything put in our phones that absolutely do that. And every time a new iPhone comes out, that's when, you know, it starts slowing down, things start to crash, because they try to force you to buying the new one. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Mine's only a couple years old, and it's doing stupid stuff. But yeah, just driving down the road that I always drive, and it's lagging and skipping. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So, we'll see.
What I want to know is, okay, so last Thanksgiving time, so almost a year ago, I bought my sister a phone for, like, an early Christmas present because she, like, needed a phone.
That is legitimately so nice. You're a way better sister.
I am so nice, and I'm gonna, hold on, we're going off track for a second. So I got her a phone. I always get, like, used phones because I have money, not that much. So it was, like, however much money, it doesn't matter. And my mom was like, you should text her father, our father, the father that we share, and ask him to split it with you. And then that will be also his Christmas present to her. And I was like, okay. So I texted him for the first time in 2 years and was like, hi, I'm going to get my sister a phone. Do you want to split it with me? He said yes.
He did split it with me.
It's been a year. And I've seen him, and we've talked about the phone. She has the phone, it works good for her, and he has still not split it with me. So anyway, that's besides the point. So I got her this phone last year, 256 gigabytes. Tell me how. Yeah, how much does your phone have?
I have no idea.
Check.
How do I check?
Settings.
Okay. This is how completely inept I am. General.
And then it should be like about or like storage or something. Let me see.
You look at it. I don't know.
Settings. No, I'm just going to tell you how to get there. General. iPhone storage.
Oh. 64.
How much?
Oh, wait, no. No, 64.
How much have you used?
48.4.
That's so cute. Okay, right. So you've used 48 gigabytes.
Well,
right?
purchased the something each month. I paid 99 cents for more storage.
For iCloud storage?
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Is that
separate.
normal?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, you have the storage of your phone physically, and then there's like...
Because I did reach my storage, and I couldn't do anything on this thing.
Then there's like imaginary storage.
Okay.
So that if you got a new phone, you could take your stuff from the imaginary and download it.
I only used 48.4.
Yeah, okay. So you've used 48 gigabytes, right? So my sister has had this phone for not even a year, and she has used all of 256 gigabytes.
What?
I have no idea how. I've had my phone for maybe almost 2 years now, and I've used 139 of my 256 gigabytes. But I definitely don't need all of it.
I've had this is a 12. I've had this for I've had this for several years. So
That's wild.
Whoa. I don't know how these things work. I'm really showing my
I got you.
Boomerishness. I don't know. Wow.
I don't know how she did that. And like, the value of phones is in the amount of storage it has. Because you can get this same phone that I have with 64 gigabytes for like $100. But if you want 256 gigabytes, it's like $500. So I don't even know what the next option is.
Let her buy one?
No, I mean of storage.
Oh.
What is it, like 500 gigabytes?
I have no idea.
That's too many.
That's too many.
That's too many bytes.
How much money does it cost? So many monies.
So many
So
dollars.
many monies.
Okay, so I saw my cousins a few days ago. Hi cousins, love you cousins. My cousin-in-law
Okay.
is pregnant.
Okay. So is mine.
What is the obsession with touching the belly?
No. No touch.
What is with...
I don't know.
Yeah, I have 2 points of view, because if I was the pregnant person,
No touch.
I don't even want to be touched now,
Exactly.
let alone in a state of hyper miserability.
Yep. Yes. Trademark TM dictionary.
Why do people like to touch a pregnant belly?
The miracle of life. I don't know, and
I feel like it would freak me out.
I've only ever touched one pregnant belly.
I've never.
Against my will.
Oh, I probably touched my mom's when she was pregnant.
I touched my cousin's because she like grabbed my hand and like, oh, the baby's kicking, and I'm like, no, absolutely not.
The only thing I can compare it to is like when, did you have me touch like your?
My
Do you got like
in my arm?
like a screw in there or something
Yeah.
that I think I've felt. That's the only thing that I can compare it to, is that it just feels like, oh, there's something in there that shouldn't be, and it's gross and weird.
Yeah, the thing that freaking sticks out of my elbow.
Yeah.
And man, I have smacked that thing off of doorways and stuff. And hello, Star. Oh my God,
I felt quite a few screws and bumps and metals inside of people before. I'll do that.
That's more natural than the bringing about of life.
Hold on, I don't want to touch your baby, bro. That's so weird.
What I think is weird is when babies come right out of the hoo-ha.
Uh-oh.
They clean them up a little bit and everything, yeah. But then people are kissing on them and stuff. Ew. Ew.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, have we?
I don't know.
Like when they're first born and then people...
Oh, they just like get thrown on the mom's chest? Like,
well, they want it immediately, and
yeah.
I'm just like, and then they're like, oh, it's different in the moment, like in the moment you want, and I'm just like...
clean that slime ball up.
No, I think I would, one baby, hold the cream cheese, please. I don't want to touch it. That's so gross.
Oh, leave the cream cheese and strawberry jam out of this. I don't... That's so nasty.
It's gross.
Oh my God. Speaking of something that's not gross, so this past weekend I had to go back to Ohio. My friend was getting married.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my God. Your birthday's in a few days, isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. I actually don't know what it
It's
is.
the 31st, isn't it?
No.
The 30th?
Yeah.
My bad. I have it written down.
I don't know what day that is.
It's 5 days from now.
I don't know what day it is. I thought today...
Today's the 25th.
So I thought yesterday was Monday, and I thought today was Tuesday. And so when I looked at because somebody scheduled online for work, so I went to do that, but they were scheduling for what I thought was like today, and then it was supposed to be... I don't know if this is making sense, because it doesn't even make sense in my head. But the point is, I had my days mixed up until I looked at my calendar and realized, oh, today is the day you're actually coming here. I better do something with myself.
You don't have to. I don't.
But I do have work later today, so I kind of had to do it no matter what. What was I saying?
Something not gross?
Oh, right. So I went down to Ohio for my friend's wedding. Nice wedding. Not the point of the story.
Gross.
But
I'm going to call gross on that already.
But my parents took in a foreign exchange student from Brazil. And she made me Brazilian candy. She kept calling it Brazilian candy, but it's like this chocolate dip that you can put like over strawberries or something like that.
Okay.
So she made me that, and it was quite delicious. So I went out yesterday, and I actually bought strawberries. I never buy strawberries. Just so I could dip them in this like chocolate pudding stuff.
Strawberries always look better than they taste, I feel like. They're kind of meh.
Well, when I went to the store, the strawberries that they had out, like the normal strawberry, looked horrendous. They were like rotten. It looked like on the store shelves. So I actually did go for the organic ones because those looked bomb. So yeah, I did actually spend a little bit extra money for the good looking organic strawberries.
Why not?
Because I wanted to eat this chocolate pudding stuff.
Is it good?
It's good. It's very good. She's a sweet girl.
I had it twisted in my head for like a second. I thought that you I know that you said it wasn't going to be a gross thing, but then I was like expecting a gross thing, and I was like, oh, the Brazilian candies. Oh my god.
No, it's actually good.
Where's the twist?
No, it's actually good. But yeah,
That
sweet
sounds
girl.
good.
But yeah, brilliantly interesting story. But no, the wedding itself, beautiful ceremony and everything. The wedding reception is, I'm very particular when it comes to the music I can dance to. And while the DJ did play like upbeat music and stuff, he was playing upbeat music more from my parents' generation. And I'm like, this is a young millennial. You need to play club music from the 2000s, 2010s. That's it. And he was playing stuff from like, he did play that. But he was playing other stuff from like more of like the 80s or something. And I'm like, no.
I feel like I could DJ a millennial wedding.
Well, on the way home, because I couldn't quite dance to everything that I wanted to, because I will dance an entire wedding reception. I freaking love to dance. Oh my god, yes. My cousin's wedding, my cousin Zach, his wedding was so much freaking fun. Probably the best wedding reception I've ever been to. Every single song was just fire. That DJ was fantastic. Anyway, so on the way home, I had to make up for some of the songs that I knew didn't get played. So as I'm driving home 6.5 hours, I'm creating my own wedding reception. And I texted my mom. I was like, can we have a wedding reception without the wedding? Can we have a wedding list reception?
Why don't people do that?
Because I would make my own playlist. I could edit it together so I didn't even have to worry about a DJ. I just let it play. And holy frick, I would be such a great wedding DJ. Because I would love to be a DJ. I would be a great millennial wedding DJ. Anything other than that, no.
People should hire DJs like based on their age, because I remember in high school they would always hire these DJs that were like middle-aged men, and they were not good. And then we had one who was really young, and I kept requesting "Come On Eileen" because that's an amazing club banger, and he would not play it.
Yeah,
I think he didn't know it, and I think he heard the first few seconds of the, and he was like,
no.
And I was so annoyed.
We had a DJ for homecoming one year that I don't know what was up with his setup or something, but it would cut out. Every few minutes it would be cut out, and it would completely throw off the rhythm of everything. And when I say cut out, I mean like dead silence for a second. And just random. I'm like, that's so weird. And it was homecoming. We all paid a ton of crap money to be here. Like, get it together. Oh my god, it was so upsetting. You know what I was just thinking about the other day? I don't know if he'll remember me or if he'll ever hear this. I hope he never does, because that's awkward. But my sophomore year of high school, and as we've said before, I was a freaking loser in high school, right?
Same.
So my sophomore year of high school, we had a Sadie Hawkins dance, which is the girl asks the guy.
Okay.
And I had no intention of asking anybody because, dear God, kudos to all the guys who actually find the cojones to actually ask somebody, because that is terrifying.
Did you get that from Bad Friends? When Andrew
I have
says,
no idea.
Cojones, yo no sados. I think so, because he does it in the MeUndies ad. That word has been stuck in my head all week when he says, yo cojones, yo no sados.
I haven't listened to it in a long time. Not that I can anymore because it'll cut out. Anyway.
Oh yeah, God bless.
But anyway, yeah, kudos to them, because I could microphone down again.
Oh shoot.
But so Sadie Hawkins dance was coming up, and then I was in one of my science classes, and with those ones, it was depending on the teacher, you got assigned a seat, and so I was assigned my seat next to this one guy, real nice guy. Football player, popular, and everything, but very nice. And I would say we were like class friends. You know, we didn't talk outside of class or anything, but in the class we got along great. We would talk, we would laugh, whatever. And then the people around us we would talk to as well. And there was this one day coming up to the Sadie Hawkins dance where we were talking about it, and it came about that he said that he had not yet been asked. I don't know where it came from, but I asked him. And I was like, well, would you want to go with me? And I'm pretty sure my jaw dropped when he said, yeah, I'd love to. And I'm like, what just happened?
Well, that's why he brought it up to you. It's because he wanted you to ask.
Well, we were talking with other people, so I'm thinking it was like more, I don't know. But either way, he said yes. And I was like, what parallel universe did we just enter into where this like super nice, popular guy said yes to me? Like, and he was probably just being nice. I don't know.
No.
Well, then the Sadie Hawk, a couple days later, Sadie Hawkins dance is in a couple days from that, and he had to text me, and he said he couldn't come.
Aww.
He said, I'm so sorry, like, I forgot I had a prior engagement, like, I have to go out of town for, I don't know what, an event, a meeting, I don't know what it was. Something, I think, to do with football, but, again, I have no idea. But he was like, I'm so sorry, I can't go. And I was like, that's totally fine, dude. Like, I don't think it's fine. I'm just kind of, like, amazed you even said yes in the first place. So, like, the fact that you can't go, whatever. Whether you're just ditching me or you really can't go, whatever. I don't care. I still went. I had a great time by myself. Me and a couple girlfriends and everything. But, yeah. I don't know why. There was a reason I brought that up. And now I don't remember why. Either way, shout out to him. He was always so sweet in school. He's such a nice guy. Yeah.
I have no idea why you brought that up.
I have no idea. Were we talking about school? We were talking about dances. That's it.
Oh, dancing.
Dancing.
Wedding receptions.
Do you like to dance? Why have we not gone clubbing yet?
Because I'm not good.
Don't care.
Yeah, I love to dance. Every wedding that I've ever been at, I will, like, dance my feet off. And I will be sore the next morning.
Yeah. I was. My thighs felt it because we were getting low. Get low, get low, get low, get low from the window to the wall. Anyway.
What is UPA?
That's another thing. Oh my god.
Because they were like parked. Two of them were like blocking, and I just sat there for a second. I literally had your phone number like ready. Like I was like, help! I don't know what to do. I was like, and then the lights were flashing, and I was like, oh my god, it feels like I'm in Monsters Inc. With, like, the security that are, like, 2319!
Don't know what's happening. I never got the notification for it because I'm not technically the one that pays the legitimate bill, but National Grid came around and they had to do something. And I'm not kidding. Every time, other than one time, I'm aware of one single time that when someone has come to my door unannounced, I have either been on the shitter or getting out of the shower and not dressed yet, or just rolled out of bed and, like, cannot comprehend life. Every single time someone has come to my door, I have been in a position where I cannot immediately answer it, other than one time. One time. And it's been problematic. So yeah, they come to my door. He's knocking and ringing the doorbell, and I'm like, just a minute. But he didn't hear me, so he knocked again. I'm like, just a minute! And I go answer the door, and he's like, yeah, I just gotta do blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, do you have to come in? Because I'm like...
What was it?
National Grid had to do something, connect something or other, I don't know. And I was like, do you have to come in? He was like, no, it's just right around back. And I'm like, okay, go. And I was like, I asked him, I was like, was I notified about this? You know, I was like a Karen in that moment. I was like, did I get a notification about this, that this was happening? He's like, well, you should have gotten an email. And I'm like, well, of course I didn't. I was nicer about it. I didn't actually sound like that. And I was like, no, I don't think I did. But okay, that's fine. Go right ahead.
I wonder what it was.
And then he was like, you're going to lose power for like 2 minutes. And it was like less than 5 seconds. But whatever. I don't know what they were doing. I have a little note card thing that they gave me saying what they were going to do. But did I read it? No, I don't care. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. But that's what I think they're going around and they're connecting something to all the apartments here. I don't know if that's still them or not.
Very good.
Yeah. So what else is new?
Ugh, I need to get on the PAMP, bro. I've not been sleeping at all.
I started taking melatonin. Oh, you don't know?
Melatonin is so stupid. I don't believe in no melatonin.
My thing is, I think I'm okay with it as long as I take it at an appropriate time, because last night I was up too late.
I'm irresponsible. I won't do it.
I took it too late, and so I was still like in the depths of sleep when my alarm went off, and I think that screwed with me. So I'm pretty tired today, but I need to start taking it earlier. And now that I don't have any kind of phone connection, it's not like I can be on my phone. Like, I haven't been on TikTok either.
This is so sad.
Days without
this life
TikTok.
That you're living. I could not do it.
I'm living.
Also, I have homework.
Oh yeah. What?
Like, I have to do homework online. Like, I couldn't.
Oh, you could. You have to have Wi-Fi. I got you. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
How did that connect?
Oh, so listen to this. So, the professor that I hate her so much. Oh, okay. Before I get into that, listen to this. This is such BS. This professor that I hate. Okay, I'm gonna give like a quick refresher. She's the one who yelled at that girl for being like 2 minutes late.
Uh-huh.
What else is about her? She just sucks and she's a witch and she has warts on her face and I can't stand her. This has to be like illegal in some sort of academic form because academic? Did I say academic?
Get on with it!
Okay. So, every week there's like a topic. We have like artifacts on it, so articles, a chapter from a book, videos, da da da. We're supposed to have read up on these, taken notes on them, and be ready to discuss them, even though she ends up talking for the whole class time. Okay? So, starting maybe a month ago, a group of 2 people will like lead discussion, quote unquote. So, this girl and I have become like friendly. We were partners. And so we had to lead discussion a few weeks ago. So, you know. Oh, okay. She's very, like, vague and, like, she'll just be like, okay, so you guys are going to lead discussion. And then, like, that's it, right? So we just took, like, extensive notes, had, like, questions ready to ask the class. And we did fine. A few days ago, she posts an outline on how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And a rubric.
Wow.
After people, not just us, 2 or 3 other groups, have already done it! What? That's not fair! There's no way that's fair.
Did you get, like, a bad grade on it?
She hasn't... I haven't gotten a grade on it yet, and I probably won't until the end of the year because she's also that type of teacher. But that's not fair. We had no idea what we were doing. And, like, we stayed after class and, like, tried to get more clarity from, like, her and the TA and stuff. And... like, we got, like, a sample outline, like, of the TA's outline, because he's a student. So we got his old outline. But it's, like, in the rubric, it was, like, oh, your attire will be graded. We didn't know. There's so many things.
Yeah, no,
That's not fair.
I'd fight that tooth and nail, especially if you're going to be graded on how you do it. No.
Like...
no.
That has to be against some sort of, like, rule of, like, you can't make some students do a homework assignment based on an outline and some others, like...
I mean, if she started grading people's leading based off of the rubric after you, fine.
But it's also not fair that some kids are going to be graded to a higher standard then. Because say she doesn't grade the people who already went based on that rubric...
well, not based on that rubric, but what they had, which means not a lot. So it would be more based on, you know, were you prepared in any fashion? Did you have, you know... I think there's a way of making it fair as long as she did it based off of what they had at the time. You had nothing, so you get graded based off of...
based on nothing.
Off of
but then these other kids have to work harder to meet the standards of this outline.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not even the point I was going to make. Well... this isn't like, I don't know, it's whatever.
No, that's not okay. That's not okay.
We have to make like a podcast talking about one of the topics that we've talked about or that we're going to talk about. And...
well, you're already halfway there.
I know, because everyone was like... because she has students who've had her before and they've had to do the podcast before and she's like, oh, tell everybody a little bit about it. And they're like... it's a little bit hard to get in front of the microphone at first, but it's just like a normal conversation. And, I mean, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Like, not everybody gets to do this every day. And I was just like, you guys are just losers. I have a podcast, you literal loser. And she's like, you guys don't have to worry about editing it. Like, I have someone who does that. And da-da. I'm like, screw her. You guys are absolute losers.
You're the professional here.
But I have to really watch my tongue not to drop the name of this podcast on that podcast because
what?
I talk about her extensively.
Yeah.
I hate her guts.
Well, that reminds me of how on Chaotic Energy, me and Mallory had one teacher together who, I think I mentioned him before, like, I really like him as a person, but he did not mesh well with being a teacher. He was well educated in his field, but, like, not in the teaching field, and it didn't mesh very well. And so we were kind of bashing him on a couple things with that. And then turn around the next day, and then me and Mallory are outside of the ASL lab, we're waiting to get in there to do the podcast. He's like, what do you do? What are you up to? And he goes back. And I'm like, oh, we do a podcast, blah, blah, blah. And then when I tell him about it, I'm like, yeah, you should listen. I'm like, oh, shoot! No, don't listen!
Yeah, don't listen.
Yeah, so that was kind of awkward. Hopefully he didn't hear that, because I feel like we had, like, a good repertoire, me and him, in class. So I feel like I think he liked me in class. Because, like I said, I got along with him as a person, but just his teaching method and everything and his assignments were just not.
Yeah.
Especially with how hard he was grading and how hard his tests were. Like, the teaching style and the testing style, nope, they did not mesh. And I did not appreciate that. Kind of the same thing. Like, your expectations are much higher than what you're providing us with. So, you can only ask so much without providing the necessary equipment to actually do it. Anyway. Equipment. That was not the right word, but you know what I mean.
Why is it not equipment? It's equipment. That's so stupid.
It's the English language.
Ugh.
The whole English language is stupid.
I hate it.
Well, that's the Brazilian foreign exchange student that my parents have. I was talking to her, and she was saying, yeah, learning English, it's like, it's stupid. It's stupid. It's a stupid language. And I'm like, I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
No, it's absolutely true.
Her example was elephant. Everyone in her class, you know, they know Portuguese. And so they have rules and regulations in their language that actually make sense, whereas English does not. And so the example of elephant is like they're all spelling it with an F because that makes sense. But then the teacher would get mad and be like, no, it's PH, it's PH. And they're like, it's stupid! And I'm like, you're correct!
English has so many, like, exceptions and, like, inconsistencies. Other
English is literally nothing but exceptions.
Yeah.
Like the I before E except after C. There are more that break that rule than follow it.
Yeah.
So let's stop with that.
God bless that I already know it because I couldn't learn it.
Mm-mm.
Thank God.
Yeah. No, it's brutal language. And that's why it also bothers me so much when people in America, when they hear somebody, they call it like broken English or something. And I'm like, they know a hell of a lot more of a second language than what you do. How much of Spanish or Portuguese do you know? Not a lick of it. So shut your trap. They're doing fantastic.
And like broken English makes way more like linguistic sense than correct English.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Because they're actually following patterns, like in speech patterns that they make sense. So yeah. And that's, I don't like it. It's broken English. Or like, one of my old classmates used to call it lazy English. And I'm like, that is the furthest thing from true.
What?
What on earth?
We have lazy English because we just learned it incidentally.
Yeah.
They're actually working on it.
All of our slang and everything and our, you know, roundabout ways of getting things done. I'm like, yeah, no, our English is definitely lazy. I don't know. I'm just very impressed with people who can learn new languages and stuff. I've been really... So as I'm listening to the Basement Yard and they have their ads and they have Babbel and I'm like, you guys are actually getting me with the ads here. I might have to go for Babbel.
Because I have internet, though.
Shit. Ah!
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that sucks. But I've been really wanting... I love language. And I really want to learn more. I really want to learn German. I would love to learn German. But like the most useful for us would be Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to learn Spanish, but I want to learn other languages first. But I'm like, no, do the most useful right now, and then branch off from that. But I would love to learn German. And I think I mentioned why before.
Because No,
that's Turkish.
Oh.
Günaydın.
Günaydın.
Günaydın. Yeah, that's Turkish. But no, German is because of a silly book that I read. Some of the characters speak German, and I'm like, I want to speak German too! Oh, the motivation I have is just
You're
whack.
such like a fangirl.
I'm such a fangirl. Oh my god. Oh, speaking of that, I got so excited. So the other day when I was in Ohio, so I wake up and not really anymore because I don't have a very good internet connection, but my morning wake up call is reading a little bit of fan fiction every morning. And when I was in Ohio, I did the same thing. I actually had internet, so it made it easier. And I get on, and there are particular books that I like to read fan fiction on. And so I'm looking for, every morning, I refresh the page looking for new fan fictions based off of this book. And one pops up. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And I go to look at it. And I'm reading the synopsis of it, and I'm like, this sounds so familiar. What on earth? So I click into it, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, I've read this before. What on earth? So I look into it, and I had bookmarked a past fan fiction that this author wrote. It's almost 200,000 words. It's a ton of chapters. I bookmarked it because I loved it so, so, so much. It was so unbelievably good. And I had it in my bookmarks there, and I'm looking, and I read through it, and I'm like, oh my God, this matches that. And so I go back to this new post,
crazy.
and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, maybe they just decided to repost it. You know, some people make edits and repost it. And I'm like, nope, this is a new author, and their synopsis is a little bit different. Their editing is a little bit different. And the caption in it, because you can put notes at the beginning and end of each chapter, was just like, I think this is going to be long. I don't know how many chapters exact. I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is actually trying to plagiarize and copy this other person's work. And they literally had just posted it, because I refreshed in the morning, and they had just posted it, right? So I'm like, one of the first people to see this thing, and the first comment, the first and only comment, I was just like, this is this work by this author, they posted at this date. That's all I said, and they immediately deleted it.
Oh my God!
It was so satisfying. And then I got really excited. I was like, Mom, look what I did! I'm a freaking superhero! Oh my God! So it made
That's
my morning. But yeah, I'm like, this post or this work that this person did. You know what? I'm gonna shout it out. It's All for the Game. The original series is All for the Game, but this fan fiction was by Mickey_99, and it's called Die Free or Die a Failure. So unbelievably good, folks. Look it up.
Shout out
Because
Mickey99.
everyone needs to read the All for the Game series by, I think her name is pronounced Nora Sakavic, or something like that. I apologize if that was wrong, whatever. But it is an absolutely unhinged series, and it's so great. It was self-published and everything, so I don't know where you can find it at this point. But All for the Game, it's a trilogy. So unbelievably good. But yeah, the fan fictions on it are immaculate. And yeah, Mickey_99, shout out to you. I hope you don't mind I'm shouting you out, because your work was so fantastic. But yeah, it was good enough that someone tried to plagiarize it, and I called them out, and they deleted it immediately. It was so satisfying. So,
God. They should have some sort of checker on there or something.
Well, that's the thing about, so I use the website Archive of Our Own, known as AO3, and it is all very self-monitored. Everyone is very responsible about putting proper tags, proper caution warnings and trigger warnings and everything, because that's how they keep it the way it is. That you can post truly whatever. It's not censored in any way, because it is self-censored to the maximum degree, and people are respectful about that. But yeah, this was the first instance of absolute ridiculous plagiarism that I've ever
found. I can't believe you super sleuth
figured
that out though. That was crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's again because I had just recently reread, because I love this fic. I go back to it constantly because I love it so much. And so I'm reading this, I'm like, I've read this before. Why is this happening? And that's the thing. I'm like, if you want to plagiarize something, at least try to make it look like it's not even the same thing. Their writing style was the same. They just changed a few words here and there. And I'm like, you suck. Yeah. But anyway, made my morning. So yeah.
Do you have any updates on your story?
So I do. I have it's so complicated. Where's my laptop? I don't know. I'll have to...
It's useless.
It's useless, yes. But I have, ideas for the prequel. I have ideas for each of the 2 books, the main books and everything. I have different characters. I need to find their names, because they're literally... I'm just naming them, FMC and MMC and, side character number 1. That's all that's their names right now. But no, I have kind of, a lot of the plot lines developed and how I want it to go down and everything. Will I ever write it? Probably not.
You should.
I would love to, but
You should have someone to help you or something to keep you on track.
Help me?
No, an author smart person.
If any professional authors out there want to give their assistance to a amateur writer, that'd be great. But yeah, no, I thought about it a lot, and I do have a lot of in the works.
Do you have an idea for a name?
No.
Do you have
Oh wait, the name of the book? Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking characters. I kind of have an idea of working names and stuff. Not that they're going to be solid, but I do. I don't want to divulge too much.
Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to talk about it.
I know I do, but I don't want to actually divulge any too many specific information just because if I do end up eventually writing this, I would like it to be a surprise.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have an idea for the cover art?
No.
Okay.
But guess who's going to be my artiste?
Someone who's not in the room with us.
I beg to differ. I still can't get... I love our cover art that you made.
I really enjoy it.
It's great. Yeah, we need to do something with our social medias that I no longer have access to because I don't have internet.
So I need to do something.
Double shoving all the work on you. But no, we need to... I don't know. Do we need to?
I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
I don't know. I don't know how to be professional about this. What else is new in your world?
Yesterday I had a midterm that took me an hour and 15 minutes and a presentation that was 35 minutes long.
Frick.
It wasn't just me, though. It was 3 other people, but it was long.
It sounds like you have a lot of group projects.
I hate them!
They suck.
I hate a group project, and here's why. Here we go. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
More hatred. I'm sorry I'm just so negative today. I swear I'm not. Well, I am. Okay.
Oh, I have something to talk to you about, but it cannot be on the podcast, so...
Alright, fair enough.
You're not the only hateful one in the room.
So, I'm in this group for this project. We get assigned this group 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't like pick your people, it was like pick your topic, and then the professor put people together who wanted the same topic. So, we picked 3 different topics. I don't even remember what the other ones were, but this was not my first pick. But it was like reproductive rights. So, I am in this group with 3 other girls, and one of them is just annoying, which is fine. You're allowed to be annoying. Whatever, I'll let it slide. But then, like, we had to meet for, like, we were required to meet a second time outside of class, which is annoying because I'm the only one out of them who doesn't live on campus. And she was just, like, such a pain in the butt to try to schedule something with. And so we're not able to meet. Final, and also she, like, wasn't working on any of it until, like, a few days before because she, quote-unquote, couldn't figure out how to edit the slide. And she was like, oh, I didn't realize you had to click on it first, lol. And I was just like, it took you this long, like, look it up, maybe? Anyway. So it's Monday night, the day before we present, and we haven't talked about our presentation at all.
Oh, God.
And I was busy, like, I had work, and I was just like, can anybody just FaceTime for a couple minutes just to run down, make sure everything goes smoothly? And she was like, no, sorry. And she goes,
Wow.
I have an early class tomorrow and I have a test in it, so I have to study and go to bed early. Guess what, lady? I'm in the same class as you! She's in my art history class. We have the same class, the same test, the same time. Guess what? I have to study for it too. Guess what? I have to go to bed early for it too. But guess who's gonna figure something out? Because it's the night before we gotta present. Me! I'm gonna figure something out. It's so annoying. She kept having this excuse of, oh, I can't, I have an early class tomorrow. Guess what, lady? I'm in the same one. Oh my God. And so she's like, later on, she's like, okay, I can actually meet, but only for a few minutes. So we FaceTime. And she just blabbed our ears off for a half an hour, 45 minutes.
Oh my God.
It was so long. And so I don't think that she knew that I was also in that class with her because it's a big class and the lights are usually off because we're usually looking at, like, the projector. So I don't think that she knew.
Wow.
But I walk into that midterm and she just sees me and just gives me this dead stare. And just, like, watches me sit in my seat, right? Oh, and here we go. So the class after that, which is what the presentation was for, I walk right from my first class to the second class. Takes me like 5 minutes to get there. I get to class 15, 20 minutes early, right? So because we're presenting, the professor said, be here 5, 10 minutes early just to get your PowerPoint set up, get everything set up, and so you're ready for when class time starts. And the girl was like, I'm going to be late. I have a test, the class before it. And so the professor's like, okay, no problem. She left the midterm 20 minutes before I did. But I show up to that next class, the only one there. And people start showing up, and they go, oh, where is she? And the professor's like, oh, she had a test. And I was like,
throw her to the bus.
She's on her way. I'm in the same class. She left before me. And the professor was like, oh, okay. She was waiting in the hallway for class to start.
Wow.
She came in and she said, I was waiting. She waited. She got there, and she waited. And she didn't help me set up. And she waited until class started to come into the room.
Wow.
What? That doesn't make any sense to me. Huh? I'm so confused. Why does she suck so bad?
This is people, period.
But it's not, it doesn't
worst.
seem
They're the
that
worst.
she doesn't care. It just seems that she, like, is clueless? I don't know.
People who are not self-aware
Yeah.
are the bane of my existence. Because I think I said it before. I am so painfully self-aware that I cannot handle people who are not self-aware. I should not have to explain to you common sense, common courtesy.
Yeah.
Just do what you're supposed to do and be a decent human being about it. It's just not that hard. And people are like, oh, well, being a bitch isn't hard either. And I'm like, but you are actively making everyone's life miserable. Why are you the way you are? Be aware. Just do the right thing. It's just, oh my God. I don't have it in me to be nice about it anymore. And I'm like, I don't know.
I was texting back and forth with her in this group chat, and I had to have, like, other people read my texts before I sent them, because I think my annoyedness was coming through. But that I just don't understand. Like, we were supposed to be there early. You got there earlier than I did, and I was early for early. Yeah. Extra early. And then she, like, chose to not come in. Not only early, she didn't come in until class started.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
That's irresponsible. Like, what?
I hate group projects, and I think it's actually really inconsiderate of teachers to force group projects when your grade relies on other
There should
people.
be an option. It should be, you can do this by yourself if you want to, because I would choose that every time.
Yeah, I would too. I have control issues. I end up doing the entire project anyway, because without fail, I'm the only one who actually puts any effort into it. Like, everyone else will do their parts, but, like, my part of the project will be infinitely better because I'm actually the one who puts even just the smallest amount of effort into it. They just do it to get it done.
Oh my God, I slayed. And another thing is, the professor was like, we've had this before, where the professor's like, don't put words. Like, you can label stuff, but don't have paragraphs.
Yeah.
Just photos, visual aids.
Yeah.
Oh my God, literally, their whole presentation was paragraphs on paragraphs on paragraphs. Like, I'll show you. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only time people can get away with this kind of thing is when truly everybody in the group is on the same page about how, whoa.
Look at, and then wait, you'll see when my part is, because it's just going to be pictures. Ready? Words on words on words, right?
Words and nothing but words. Yep.
Words on words.
Oh
Look, there's me.
Yep.
There's me. There's me. There's me. There's me. And then guess who's not me?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm furious. It's okay.
No, I know. Do you remember one of the last projects we did for our ASL class? Which one was it? The last
Conversation?
Yeah, we had like different parts of history presentation we had to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and Charlie were together and we had the civil rights movement, and it worked out nicely because neither of us were prepared in any sort of fashion. But we are both fantastic BSers.
Yeah.
So literally 15 minutes before the start of class, that's when we actually sat down together to put our PowerPoint together.
No way.
I'm dead ass serious.
I remember it being really good.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we're world-class BSers, and we just whipped the project and the presentation together within 15 minutes because neither of us had time. We could not get together. Neither of us, we both had a ton of stuff going on in our outside lives at the same time. So, like, we were just in mutual agreement, like, this is gonna bomb.
That's awesome.
In not a good way. And we're fine with that. We'll do our best, but we're fine with the fact that we both suck ass.
Interesting use of the word bomb, because my project was on Pearl Harbor.
Oh. Awkward. Yes. Anywho. But yeah, then our presentation ended up being awesome because we whipped it together in 15 minutes and we both got very good grades on it.
Also, I think you should not ask students to meet outside of class.
Yeah, no.
Have class time,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, like, Zoom if you have anything left over.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I don't live on campus. I was not going to drive up on a day where I don't have to go at, like, 8 p.m. when they're all done with sports and school and work,
Mm-hmm.
and then drive back
Yeah, no.
at night. Was not... That's not fair.
Yeah. I think, again, that's another thing that teachers have to have a realization that there are other things going on in our lives other than just your class. Not only is there other classes and other homework we have to attend to, but we also have outside lives. And teachers seem to forget that. It's kind of it's the exact same way of just like, you know, when you see like a high school teacher outside of class, like you're not supposed to exist outside of the classroom. And I feel like that's how a lot of like professors feel like students are. You're not supposed to exist in a life outside of my classwork.
Yeah.
And I'm like, reality check, babe. That's not how that works.
I know, because that one professor we have this podcast, which is part of our final. So we have the podcast that we have to record outside of class with people, for people. And then we have to make a presentation on what was discussed, play clips from it. We have to write a reflective essay on the experience, all while doing the weekly homework, which takes forever. Like I said, it's articles, chapter from the book, videos that we have to write. Like, there's these structured notes of we have to write an outline, 3 main points, questions about it, our emotional reaction, for each and every single one of them, which is like 7, let's say. And remember those presentations I was talking about? Some people are still doing their presentations, which means that you could have your presentation, weekly homework, and this podcast whole spiel final project at the same time.
Mm-hmm. That reminds me of my anthropology class that I had. The way he set up his class, I was just like, there's no possible way of doing this in a fair way, because the way it was set up, everyone had a particular subject they were supposed to do a paper and a presentation on. Just a real minor presentation. We would sit in our seat kind of thing, but you just had to present the information after writing like a 3-page paper on it or something. And I got, I forget the actual, so much I learned, but I did the cultural tradition of shrunken heads.
Mm-hmm.
But the list of subjects that he gave us, he was going in order of that they were listed.
Right.
Mine was first. I really wanted that subject though, so I had to go first. The problem with it though is from the date that he assigned it and gave us the subject list to when I had to present as the first person was only 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of everybody had, you know, however long it took to get through the list, which means the person at the bottom had to the very end of the semester to do their paper and their presentation. I had 2 weeks. And on top of a completely packed full, this was like the first or second semester, and I was completely jam-packed. I had like 7 classes. It was ridiculous. I had a full breakdown. I'm not joking. I had a full breakdown because of this. And then I end up getting it all together. I end up doing the presentation. I turn in my paper. I got 100 on it. And while that's fantastic, at the same time, I'm like, I had a full breakdown over something that he was probably going to give 100% on anything that I turned in.
Yeah.
I could have turned in toilet paper.
I do that all the time.
And he would have given 100%. And I'm like,
all the time.
I was pissed. Not only did I panic over nothing, but like, I did write a fantastic paper. So maybe he did grade it fairly. It was a very good paper. But like, what the frick, man? Like, figure out a better system because this is wrong.
I hate that week to week. It's so unfair because it could clash with so many different things.
Yeah.
Or, on the flip side, although you had less time, then some people get to get it over with early and not have it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it did not mesh well with my mental state of being. It was terrible.
Like, I'm glad I did my voice just cracked. I did mine a few weeks ago because now I won't have to do that on top of the podcast, on top of the other thing. But
yeah. No, I'm definitely someone that, like, I'd rather get it over sooner rather than later because I'm also someone who I do better under pressure, and with a deadline, if you give me too much time, I will still wait until the very last minute to do it.
Oh, yeah, and I have.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I'd rather just have a shorter deadline and get it done with. But, like, at least try and make it fair. Like, again, people had the full semester to do this, where I had 2 weeks. I was like, that was brutal, man. But,
yeah, if you say that it's due at the end of the semester, I will wait until the end of the semester.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now because I'm in this media literacy class, and we're supposed to do, I think every 2 weeks is one, like, media scavenger hunt. Or it'll be like, look for a post on Instagram that you think is untrue. Why do you think it's untrue? Da, 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 da. And it's like, they're all due some point in November. And it's like, I'm doing all of them in November.
Yeah.
They're so dumb.
Well, that's the paper that I had to do for my politics class. I waited until the last minute to do it, and then I sat down and I was actually doing it. And I was like, this is kind of a shit assignment. Like, this is garbage. And so I just commented, just a real quick kind of.
I remember this. Yeah.
All I said was, like, this is a really good paper to discuss in class to kind of get other people's feedback on it and everything. And I feel like I'm just regurgitating. I'm like, I don't feel like this is like I don't feel like the assignment matches well with what we could be doing with it. And that's all I really said. It was just more of a suggestion for future classes if he wanted to do something different with it. And then I got a garbage grade on it because I didn't fill the requirements, which I knew. But then afterwards, he kind of pulled me aside. He was just like, you could have talked to me about it beforehand, blah, blah. I was like, I didn't have time because my fault, 100%. I understand that, but I procrastinated till literally the last night. I didn't have time to talk to you about it because I had no idea what the assignment was even about before the last minute. So, yeah, let's not call me out for something I'm already fully aware that I have issues with. But, like, this isn't about me. Like, I'm not asking, and he still gave me, he gave everyone a chance to redo. If you're not happy with your grade, you have a chance to redo it. So I obviously did that. But he was like, next time, just talk to me. And I'm like, next time, I will probably procrastinate the same way I did. So I'm still not going to help. And it was just a suggestion for him. And I'm like, doing a paper on a paper that's already been summarized? Because that's what it was. It was like an analyzation on a summary of a paper. And I'm like, this is just a regurgitation of something that's already been done. This is completely pointless. Let's actually discuss it. Let's actually learn something. Let's actually get other people's point of view on it. Let's actually make a whole class on this because this is actually it's a good paper. It's really good information, but let's do something with it rather than just regurgitating things because this is a waste of time.
You would love ChatGPT right now.
Why?
Because it's perfect for those assignments that you're just summarizing or regurgitating.
Ugh. Such a waste.
No, but it's perfect. Because you'll just be like, summarize this.
But you're not learning anything. You're not actually getting
But if you're already not going to learn anything from the assignment.
Yeah. Well, that's why I suggested to him, I'm like, fix your curriculum. Make it actually interesting. Because I'm very interested in politics and history and the workings of it and getting underneath of the what's going on to the why. Like, why did you decide to do this? What's the motivation here? What do you get out of it kind of thing? Like, I want to know the in-depth meaning of it. But when you're just regurgitating, you're just ever touching the surface of things. And it's like, there's people are under this, and the mind of people are under these papers and under these happenings and stuff. Let's figure the people out underneath the happenings. And that's how you actually learn things. That's how you actually make change to getting in-depth of things. And he never did. And so my suggestion was just get deeper. Let's actually talk about it. Let's get into the mindset of people. Yeah.
I miss doing sign language, bro.
Me too. We should practice.
Yeah. Should we talk about my little issue with my degree? Or lack thereof?
I still haven't gotten mine.
You should maybe,
I should probably text
you should go to a library with free Wi-Fi and then so you can email somebody.
You're such a dick.
That's going to come right back. So many times that's going to come back to you. Yeah, no, I doubt that the same thing happened to you, but I'm also curious why you didn't get yours yet.
Well, I'm thinking, because I tried to get a couple of my credits that I did in my first round of college. I had like an English credit, math credits, and everything. I was like trying to get those applied, but because the SUNY schools didn't accept what I did in Ohio, so I had to retake my math, my English, all that. And so I started from the ground up basically in college, but I'm wondering if they got their wires crossed and we're seeing that I tried to apply something else, and I don't know.
Oh,
now I'm paranoid.
We gave, like, no context. So,
yeah.
I haven't gotten my degree yet, and we graduated in May. And so I emailed the college
Registrar or something.
and was like, hey, when am I going to get my paper degree? And they were like, oh, you actually didn't graduate. You're missing 2 credits. And I was just like, oh, this is so awesome. I love this. This is just another thing. Oh my god, I can literally hear the clippers. I'm gonna shave my head. I'm getting so annoyed. And like, I don't even have the capacity to think about this right now. And I was like, oh, you should really email somebody. And I'm like, I can't think about it right now.
Yeah.
I have to wait until the semester is over before I can even email
The mental capacity has been reached.
Because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I can't even think about it.
Yeah. And I still have not received mine either. I know other people in our class have.
Mm-hmm.
So now you made me paranoid.
I'm so sorry.
I haven't emailed anybody because it's the same thing. It's like a procrastination. There's no technical deadline on it. So it's just like,
So I'm not going to do it.
It's an open-ended thing. I'm not going to do it. And you know what my mom did? So when I was down in Ohio. So speaking of this too. Okay. When I go down to Ohio, there's always something going on. It's always an event. Something is happening. We're always busy. And so I never get a homemade meal. We're always eating out. And I'm so tired of it. I was like, I just want my mom's homemade food. That's all I want. And I never get it. So with my birthday coming up, my mom was like, we're going to celebrate your birthday this weekend. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't want to party. I don't want people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want, and I gave out my order. I said that I wanted some kind of meat because my dad has a smoker. And I was like, I don't care. Take your pick. I just want a meat that falls apart and melts and is so good that I can't help but rant and rave about it. And so my mom kind of hem-hawed around trying to figure out what she was going to make. She gave me a couple options. I said, I want ribs. And they fall off the bone. Fabulous. There was a dry rub, and then she put barbecue sauce on the other ones, and all of it was fantastic. Oh my god, it was so good. And then she made me sauteed green beans. So delicious. And then she made me my Parmesan mashed potatoes, which is like mashed potatoes with Parmesan cheese and cream cheese and butter and sour cream, just all the fixins all thrown in. It is, and then you bake it for a little while so the top gets of the cheese gets.
It sounds really good,
dude. It was so freaking fantastic. And so she made me all of that, and it was a fantastic birthday dinner. I was so excited. So 10 stars on that, Mama. 10 stars. She wanted me to give her a shout out on the podcast. So yeah.
What day of the week is your birthday on?
I have no idea.
Monday.
I didn't need to know that.
Oh.
I don't plan on doing anything, so I was like, we're just gonna forget about it. No, I genuinely didn't know, because like I said, I have my days of the week all mixed up. But anyway, so yeah, so fantastic dinner that she made me. But when I had been texting her and calling her and stuff, I was like, I had all these like little demands. So I said I wanted some kind of meat, I wanted potatoes, I wanted this, I wanted that. And in high school, there is a pizza shop directly across from the high school that the upperclassmen could go and walk across to. And it used to be like a business venture. All of the underclassmen would pay the upperclassmen to get them pizzas. Mm-hmm. And they were just individual little square French bread pizzas. And then you could put like garlic salt on them. And it came with like a cup of little ranch. And
that sounds fire.
This pizza so good. So good. And that's all I wanted. I just told my mom, I want the meat, I want the potatoes, I want something. And then I want one piece of Pizza Shack's French bread pizza with the garlic salt and the ranch. Mm-hmm. I just want one piece. And I've been asking you for it forever, but they are always closed when I go down there, right? Mm-hmm. And so we're driving. Before the wedding, we had to go shopping. We had to get new shoes, blah, blah, blah. She calls up JC, the owner of the place, and she's like, my daughter's in town. She wants your pizza. Why are you not open? He's like, I'm watching the game and drinking a beer. They're friends, so it's fine or whatever. So I still have not yet gotten my pizza.
Oh, no.
But shout out to Pizza Shack for being like the most really nostalgic. Good. Oh my god, that pizza is so freaking good. Had it all through high school. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. Sounds good. Now I want pizza.
I have no idea how we got on that. There was a point. I feel like I was going somewhere with that.
Yeah, you were.
And now I forget.
Our degrees?
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Goldfish.
It was like we were talking about degrees and you were like, every time we go to Ohio.
There was definitely a point. Maybe we'll circle back to it. Shoot. Probably not. Sorry. Okay. That was just I guess, a veered off top. I don't know.
Whatever.
What are we at? Well, we're at an hour and 4 minutes. Okay. I feel like, I don't know. What else is there in life to catch up on? Doing this on a weekly basis for two not very interesting people.
I'm just kidding. I'm so boring. The most boring.
Yeah. So the market has definitely slowed down. I'm not getting as many notifications of like house listings and stuff. So, and also my car is doing funky things. So I might have to take all the money that I've used for down payment on a house and buy a new car.
No.
Yeah, I might have to be starting from scratch on that front. But I need to get out of here. I need to get somewhere with better cell service.
For real, there's no service out here.
There's really not. It's a problem.
That is stressful. I don't want to grow up. Please and thanks. I'm good.
Yeah. No. I mean, in today's society, honestly, buying a house is just not what you need to be doing with yourself. I need to. I'm ready to buy a house.
Yeah.
I've always... I don't know. I don't know what happened where, like, a flip switched. I went from wanting to be, a total nomad. Ew. That's so gross.
You're settling.
Ew.
You're getting old.
I am. I'm almost 28.
I'm getting old and I need somewhere to begin.
Okay, no.
And if you have a minute,
I'm gonna have to... Oops, what did I just push?
Oh, you muted yourself.
I muted myself. Sorry about that.
Hope you're not muted.
Oh, there we go. Okay. But no, yeah, I don't know what happened from me wanting to be a nomad. I was just like, let's get an apartment here so I can pick up and go here. And then I want to move to Virginia and I want to move to here and I go here and just travel. And now I'm like, house. Now.
I've never wanted to move around.
No?
I'm always content wherever I am.
My problem is I don't want to be too horrifically far from my family. As much as I don't like seeing people, I am still a family person enough that I'm like, I would like to be around my family. I don't want to be in a town where I don't know anybody. That's the hard part.
I like to not know anybody.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I just have a hard time making friends. So at least I have my built-in friends from childhood up here, and my cousins, and, you know. If I were to restart somewhere, like, in my 30s, like, I'd be perpetually alone, which sounds nice, but I know it would actually bother me.
Join a book club.
Problem with book clubs is they never actually read the books I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's life. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what they do in a book club.
They read about a book and they talk about it, but then it's never a book that I'm... It's always like some historical fiction, and I'm like...
Start a book club. And you pick the books. Yeah. And you just pick your favorite ones. Yeah. And they go, we don't want to read this. And they go, that's life. That's that. This is a book club. You came. You signed up.
You in it for life now.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to join my book club?
No, I hate reading.
That's rude.
I can help you organize it, though.
Maybe we'll just read Bella Grace. I like that.
I like that. Give me an audiobook. Oh, you know what I was thinking? We should do a thing where, like, you assign me a movie. Like, not a classic, but, like, you know what I mean? Like a classic.
Your first homework assignment, A Knight's Tale. A Knight's Tale.
And I'll have to come back the following week and report on it.
Yes. Yep, your first assignment is A Knight's Tale. Your second assignment will be The Fundamentals of Caring. The Fundamentals of Caring.
I'm going to forget that.
And then your third assignment is
forever.
Good Will Hunting. We have audio proof of it.
No!
Your assignment is recorded.
I'll clip it out.
That is so funny because my number one favorite movie of all time is Good Will Hunting, but that's
I was watching that. So I dog sit for my neighbor every once in a while, and they will, like, put on the TV and be like, oh, we're watching Wedding Crashers.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be like, okay, I don't sit and watch, like, TV. So I'm just like, okay, so I'll play with the dog, and I'll just, like, catch a few glimpses of whatever it was. And they put on Good Will Hunting the last time I babysat, and I was very confused. Because I was talking about his wife farting in bed. And how he missed it.
That was all ad-libbed.
Well, I was confused.
Well, that's like dead smack in the middle of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was kind of like dragging on. I was like,
No, that's Robin Williams ad-libbed
why?
that. And you can see, I think I talked about it before in like the extras and stuff. You can see the camera shaking because the cameraman was laughing so hard.
Oh,
Because
that
he
was that
ad-libbed it.
movie?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. I loved it. I love it. I love it so much. Club of Baby Seal.
What is it about? Like, I've
Is-
never heard a single thing about it.
So it was originally supposed to be like a huge action movie and everything, but then when it got down, they boiled it down to like its actual meaning. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon wrote this together, and it is about this kid who is a math super genius, but he comes from, you know, shady parts of Brooklyn and doesn't have a whole lot going for him. Poor, whatever. And he ends up getting discovered through Harvard that he is a math genius. And this math professor kind of takes him under his wing, tries to get him to be, you know, live up to his potential, but he's got a lot of, you know, issues and everything. So Robin Williams' character is his mandate or his court mandated therapy or therapist, doing a fantastic job of explaining this. So yeah, Matt Damon's character is in court mandated therapy while he's also trying to, this math professor is trying to get him to live up to his potential. And while it doesn't sound very good, it is incredible. And then you have Ben Affleck's character, who is, you know, Matt Damon's character's lifelong childhood friend who, you know, kind of the ride or die kind of thing. And just, oh, such a good movie. So freaking good. I love it. But yeah, that's assignment number 3. The first is A Knight's Tale because it's just fantastic.
All right.
And then The Fundamentals of Caring. You think it's going to be sad, but it's not. And then also, you won't like it, so it's not going to be an assignment. But it is one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, is Short Term 12.
Good teacher. Don't assign me homework I don't like. I watched, when I was at my neighbor's, I watched Shoplifters. It's this Japanese movie.
Never heard of it.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I only caught parts of it, but Shoplifters.
We need to watch Burlesque. Remember?
Oh, yeah, we've been talking about that.
Because I think I saw a news article, I don't know if it's true or not, but Christina Aguilera is, I guess, maybe, possibly, who knows, producing like a live burlesque show. Possibly. I'd be all over that, dude. You have to see the movie, though, because to understand what I'm talking about.
That would have to happen.
What are you doing right now?
I'm recording a podcast.
Okay, I meant like after the podcast.
I'm hungry.
Oh, you're actually hungry for once.
I always
offer you food and you say no.
Nah.
You just don't like
I'm
my
usually
food.
not hungry. No, I usually either eat before or I'm not hungry yet. But right now I'm hungry. I want to go to Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. I want to get like a little wrap. I want to eat it. And then
As one does.
And then I have to power wash furniture, a rug, and a hammock. Then I have to blow leaves.
Can you record all this?
Like, odd.
Like, no, film it.
You want me to why?
Because that sounds really satisfying.
I can record some.
Yeah.
It is really satisfying. I like when I do the side of my house.
Yeah.
Because it gets a little brown or like whatever. Because my house is white. It gets a little green. So I forget.
Yeah. No, I want to see it.
The only thing is, like, I'm a perfectionist and I get a little bit of a headache, like, staring so hard and, like, trying to get every little cranny.
Oh, yeah, this sounds
and nook.
incredibly satifying.
Yes, it is, but I get a headache, especially because, like, my
I don't care about you. I care about
my
me
head's,
getting the
like,
satisfaction.
turned, so I get, like, tension, and I'm, like, I do it for hours. But I have to power wash, leaf blow. That's not satisfying. It's just uncoordinated.
Yeah, but going from, like, covered in leaves to, like,
Would you like a
not
before and
covered-
after? Oh, would you like a time lapse?
I want a time lapse.
I could do that, perhaps. Am I able to listen to a podcast while I record it, though?
As long as I can see, I don't even need audio.
No, like, I mean, like, technologically.
What?
Like, can you
Oh! Like, technologically.
You're like, I don't care.
Well, I don't know what he's saying. No, I have no idea.
I guess I'll find out.
Or if
No,
you have,
just-
if you have a camera set up and like a separate
I'll
phone,
record it
you
on
have-
my iPad or something.
yeah, you have multiple technologies. What the hell? Oh my god. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and now I forget. Some must
Man,
not be important.
I swear to God. You gotta get with it.
Oh, we need to record our disclaimer for episode
Our numbers
1.
have been going up a little bit.
A little bit, but we
like
still
our
need
average.
we still need to post something or other.
Stop listening. Hey, if you're listening to this right now, stop listening to our first episode.
Recommend this podcast to other people, but tell them to skip the first episode.
I think I tried to make one of them, like, come up first. Like, you can pick one that's, like, highlighted, you know, where it's, like... But I haven't seen that it is actually doing that.
Like, on Spotify?
Yeah. Because I logged in one time and it was, like, pick which episode you want to be the first one that we show or whatever, and I did. But I haven't noticed that it does that.
Now that we posted it, I'm not a huge fan of episode 20's name. God bless your soul. Get it together. Okay, that's ridiculous. You done?
Oh.
Get out. Ew!
Sorry.
I mean, bless you.
Oh.
We might have to change episode 20's name.
Can you believe this is our 21st episode?
That's redonkulous.
That's weird. It's a lot of episodes.
We're doing it. We've been doing it for 21 weeks.
Wild.
Yeah. I'm just impressed by our consistency.
And go us.
Yeah. We are true professionals. Anywho. Okay. We'll do that. We gotta record that disclaimer. I think that does it for today. I'm out of or what I would consider interesting stories. But I'm biased, so
probably also out of stories.
So we'll accumulate some for the next week. Until then.
Thank you guys for watching. Go follow us on Instagram.
Watching? Are you sure about that?
Oh, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they stare at the screen the whole time.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us in our conversation. Thanks for being here and thanks for the support.
What she said.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We don't have Facebook.
No.
I'll make one.
I post sometimes on Facebook, depending on our episodes.
But
yeah, content maybe to follow.
Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your dog.
Our dogs would get a kick out of it, right?
Maybe when my voice cracks, their heads would tilt.
We gotta get out of here. Okay. Talk at you next week.
Talk at you next week.
Bye.
Bye.